Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hello.
Hello, my dear. Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations with Debs. That's Debs over there. And me. With Moira. We've got a really good topic today. I really like this topic. We're going to talk about techniques to staying present in a changing world. And if you've listened to us before, you know that we like to start off our conversations with just really coming into what I like to describe as heart coherence, really coming into your heart space. And that is actually one of the best ways to helping us stay present in a changing world. So what I'd like you to invite you to do is to really feel into your heart space. And if it feels right for you, putting one or both hands, I like putting both hands over your heart and take a nice deep breath in, and you can sigh it out of your mouth. And now setting the intention that you're going to breathe that breath in and out of your heart space and allow your breathing to kind of slow down a little. So perhaps you could breathe in for the count of 5, pause at the top, and then breathe out for the count of 5. And again, breathing in, finding your rhythm, finding your heart. And as we do this, it's one of the best ways to really get into the present moment, to get grounded, but it's also a beautiful way of connecting your energy into the collective. You've likely heard this before, we are all one, or we're all connected. This is one of the direct ways to actually connect into that energy. So breathe in. Breathe in, requesting whatever soothing, calming, grounding you need right here, right now. And breathe out, offering the same loving support, grounding, soothing energy, but only as much as you have to send out. Breathe in what you need. Breathe out, sharing your loving heart. And one more together, connecting your energy with every other person listening to this conversation, connecting and setting the intention to connect with everyone on this trajectory, on this channel. And now let's get into this conversation. Techniques to staying present in a changing world. I encourage you to grab your note-taking device, whatever that is for you. And let's get into talking about these ideas. Where would you like to start with this one, dear Deb?
This is
This is a goodie.
This is a goodie. And I think I often just think about that. If you're not, as I asked ChatGPT something as we started this podcast, this is exactly it. If you're not on the boat, you're going to be drowning, is what I'm seeing more and more. And when I say on the boat, this changing world is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We are no longer in control of some stuff, but you can control what you can control. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me just get this right. So, life is changing. You either step in or you step away. But if you step away, there's going to be consequences. But know what you can control over what you can't control.
well, what is yours to control and what's
Yes,
maybe
yeah,
not
yeah.
yours to control, right? Because there are things that we can get all het up of, like, oh my God, I have to control that. But maybe it's not for you to control.
Absolutely. Or even, well, we know we can control your emotions, decisions, and actions.
Mm.
That's it. But when other people are doing things, it's up to you whether you lean in or lean out.
Right.
And if you don't like the country you live in, move. If you don't like the job you're in, move. If you
Shift it.
don't like the partner you're with, move.
Mm.
Like these are all things for you to deal with yourself. That sounded so brutal starting this. I had this beautiful how I was going to talk about it, and I'm just like, just move, just change.
Just do this. Just deal with it. So here's the thing. I believe, and you're right. Change is a given. In fact, that is the constant. We know that change, that's part of life.
Mm.
Um, Sometimes we can say, oh, hey, I need it to go a wee bit slower, or I need it to speed up. So always remember, I think this is an important piece, is to always remember you're the boss of you. You are the author of your own experience. And so staying present in a changing world, it's not about saying, oh gosh, I don't want the change. I want to tell other people that they can't do things that way. That's actually a conversation I just had recently with a client, is that he's looking at things and going, that's not right. There's an injustice there. That's not okay.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when we put our energy to that which we don't want more of, we're actually creating more of it.
I realize
Right?
I'm laughing, going, I thought I was muted. Yeah. Yes.
So staying present in a changing world is very, very important to saying, where's your focus? So there's a couple of tips in there that I kind of wove it together, is remember that you're the boss of you. You're the boss of your own energy, your experience, your choices. But then the other thing too is to be mindful of where are you putting your focus. Remembering that I firmly believe that whatever you focus on grows. You're giving it energy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I think that just ties me into my next one. Tip technique
Mhm.
technique is name it, don't numb it. And so
Ooh,
when I say name it, don't numb it, I think that you have to acknowledge what's changing. And naming it actually helps your head from just spinning around. You're like, oh, so which is you're seen, heard, acknowledged again. But if you can name it, you can go, okay, this is what's happening. This is how I'm feeling. This is, if you can actually just literally name it instead of, yeah, name it, don't numb it. Don't hide yourself under a blanket, would be
that's quite the tagline. Name it, not numb it.
There we go. There's another podcast. Let's just talk about name. Yeah, yeah. Name it, don't numb it. I don't know where the numb came from.
But you're right, because that is such an important part. So that does tie right into the see, hear, and acknowledge.
Yeah.
So sometimes that actually can apply to internally too, right?
Mm,
Because sometimes we might have a pattern or a propensity and we kind of go, oh, I don't like that, so stuff it down.
yeah.
But by seeing it, hearing it, and acknowledging it, maybe you have a propensity to overbook your time, or to um not eat when you should, or those types of things, and then just keep hustling and pushing instead of just saying, oh, there's that pattern. There it is. Now I get
Yeah.
to choose.
And I think with this, we don't have to agree with it. I'm going to go back to that same thing I say most times. We don't have to agree with it. But the moment we can actually, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid anything. Well, you think you can, but
Hmm.
you're not a higher force than everything else out there. By the way, people, I'm just going to wake you up to that. Your own power and force. But when you're trying to avoid things, it just what do you say? What's the Velcro one you have?
The negativity has too much Velcro.
Yeah, negativity has too much Velcro. And when you're trying to avoid things, that's that negativity that it's actually got too much Velcro. Things stick to it. It becomes loud. You can't move. There's so much discombobulation in that alone. But if you can actually just, yeah, see, hear, and acknowledge it, name it, don't numb it. That's it.
Mhm. And you see, when you're stuck and going, oh my God, isn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible? You're not really being present.
No.
Because present is right here in your heart space, which is what I said when we've come into, okay, wait, don't get yourself carried off into a, oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's, yeah, maybe it is, but right here, right now, this is where your power is.
Yeah. Well, even when you're just saying that, I was thinking it's if you can breathe before you react. Just,
Yeah.
when you're just talking about being present and everything, to me it was just like that. If you just do one big deep breath, that just allows even just me just thinking about what my next words are, that just allowed me to actually fall back into my heart instead of my head and my mind thinking, oh, I've got to say this and got to say how word of this and da da da. Just that being present, but when you can breathe before you react, and that one deep breath just allows things to pause, just allows things to settle in your heart a little bit more,
Absolutely. And you know the other thing I was
which is
just
your heart coherent at the start.
exactly. But do you know that that's how you get in touch with your intuition?
Oh,
Be-
of
by taking that deep
course
breath
it
and
does.
coming into your heart. Yes.
I was like, I've never heard that before. Then I'm like, hang on.
But of course it is. Because, and that's the unhooking all the oh my God, blah 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 blah, which it's
Yeah,
always going. Our minds do that. But when we take a wee moment, slow our breathing down, come into our
yeah,
body, then you can actually do a practice of that. This is
yeah,
how, whenever I have to make a decision or a choice, first thing I do is put my hand on my heart, take a couple of deep breaths. And then, exactly like you just did, I loved what you just did. You did a big breath, and then
mm,
even the pace of what you said changed, and you
mm.
came directly from your heart. That is where your intuitive guidance lives,
Oh,
right?
God. Of course it is. I literally was like, how did I not know that? Then I'm like, hang on, you knew it, you just didn't have to put it in words. We'll just say
There
that.
you
I
go.
knew it just wasn't particular words. But it is, it's that is. And I think just when you're talking about that intuitive, your intuition doesn't lie.
Nope, it doesn't.
And that's a real big one, is remembering, when you're looking for these techniques to staying present in a changing world, trust.
Mhm.
Trust,
There,
and your intuition doesn't lie. Your mind can lie. We can tell your mind to swipe left or swipe right, but your intuition already knows
yep,
if you're guiding left or guiding right.
right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that if you're listening to your ego kind of like, I should do this, and they did it, so I have to do
You
it.
need to prove a point.
Yes, yes. Have fun with that one.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
when you come into just that trust and that um it's getting out of the OMG thinking and
Mm,
the worst case scenario and the discombobulation, and because like I said, it is there. But
mm,
choosing to just say, wait, press pause, just press pause. Actually,
mm,
this is funny too, um, because this comes into the cancel,
mm.
right? Because it is important to tell for us to tell ourselves the truth. Yep, there it is. There's the oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I tell myself the truth there, but I can also say cancel,
Yeah.
and come into my heart and go, what is the best thing? Well, maybe the best thing right now is for me to take another breath and then another breath and just be here, right?
Just when you're saying the cancel, that just reminds me, it's not set in concrete.
Yes.
your decision, like, and this is, the world is changing, so we are changing with it. Who we were, listeners, who you were before you started this podcast is different to who you are now, because we've given you some tips, but also
Mhm.
who you'll be at the end of this.
That's right.
And I think remembering that even just that cancel,
I
it's
thought
just
for
a,
a minute you were going to do it without a giggle, but
I tried. I was nearly there. It just puts that little beautifulness into it. That okay, I can, a little playfulness, I guess it's going to be as well.
yes, but you see, this
All
one's
that
becoming
works.
more of one of our usual tips too, is the curiosity.
I was just going to say that. Get curious.
Yeah, get curious because like you just said, Deb, who I am now in this part of the conversation is different to what I was when I started. Our
Mm,
listeners are the same. You are the same.
mm,
So, can you bring in some curiosity, kind of, ooh, what am I going to discover now? Or, oh, how is this going to land? Or how does this resonate? Or sometimes you might hear a tip, hear an inspiration, and go, that makes sense. That resonates. It doesn't apply right this moment, but I'm going to, stick a pin in it or just make a wee post-it note because I like that and I know that I will come back to it. Does that make
yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think that's, I was just thinking, so that's actually a whole another tip as well. I was thinking about get curious, but I was like, get curious, but not control.
Yes.
Because there's two elements. Of curious means there's a beautifulness of wonderment and everything, and control is just a, a head beating kind of way. But I think when we get curious, it does go back to that you're open,
Yeah.
and more beautiful things come in when you're open.
But you also get guided by your intuition when you're being curious, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, you have so many, when you're open and you're curious and you're in that beautifulness, and even if you're in a funk, you turn into the beautifulness. You see so many more things, and just opportunities come in, and you're really living in a flower world. That's sort of, but I don't know, flower world, I don't know where that came from, but you're
Flowing,
really,
maybe a flowing world.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as hard and head bangy. I mean, now my words aren't. I need to go back and breathe, I think.
But
And
then,
Moira's going to sum this up.
but you see, then I like that whole idea of flowing. That I have this other idea around this is that we are always in the right place at the right time. And if a situation comes up, it means that we have the capacity or the tenacity or the resilience to come through it.
Mm,
I know for myself, I've come through some pretty upheaval type tumultuous types of experience. And
yeah,
so it's sometimes can be difficult to actually hold on to that. I'm in the right place at the right time. I have the capacity to come through this. But there's trust also, is
mm,
just because you can't see the best way forward, it's still there.
yeah,
So that's why it's really important. Maybe that's a time to just bring into staying present and saying, I've got this.
yeah.
Right?
And I think with that staying present, I've got this. Add in that you've been through stuff before.
Yes.
You've been through stuff before and you've survived. You may not have been through exactly what this change is right now, but you've managed to survive something previous. I guarantee everybody has survived something they did not. Um, I
They didn't realize they could. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there would have been a time that there's no way at the end of this. I could never do this, blah, 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 blah. But when I think about this, um, you've been through stuff before. You can get through it again. You're a wiser person to who you were the last time you had to deal with something that was changing in your world.
Yep. You are, double underline the are, you are resilient. You are capable, right?
Mm.
Sometimes we are more resilient and capable than we actually even give ourselves credit for, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I
And so
do.
we come through an experience and we kind of go, oh gosh, look at that.
Yeah, I know. I know. I think about, but even you think about other people and you see them and you're like, oh, I don't know how they survive that. You actually just do. You get through to a way that you don't, and it's only when you get to the end of it, then you just go, how the heck did I do that? And I think about people who say they have children. This is a crack up. They're like, I'm never having children again, da da da. Gone through that birth thing. I'm never doing that again. And next thing, oh, I can't wait to have my next child. Or they've gone through that first 2 years of the child's never slept. Any of those crazy stories that you've heard other people, they're like, oh God, I'm never having another child. And then they're like, hey, we're having another child. And you're like, did you forget that stuff that you've been through? And you do tend to forget.
Mm.
Like I laugh and giggle at that, but sometimes, oh, that's right. I did say I'd never have a child again. I mean, I think about poor old doctors. They must just laugh and go, oh, here they are. Wait till, time again. But
Yep.
we do get through stuff, but we seem to park that stuff
Mm.
that the not the trauma, the discombobulated times that actually turned out to be a big blessing because
Yeah.
all those things have been, but we seem to forget that we've gone through that. So even just take a moment when you're thinking about this and go, where else have I evolved from something and got myself through, and what was the value I got from that? You know,
Yes.
knowing that I got to talk to people I didn't think I'd ever do, or I got to connect with somebody else, or I left that job. Like there's blessings in everything when we see that goes back to that be present when we're ready for it.
Yep. So it is. It's remembering the blessings and the learning and the gifts, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they are always there. And so in your example about, oh, I'm never going to have kids again,
yeah.
that it's then that may be because you're over focused on the turmoil
Pain.
or the
Yeah.
pain of it. But as you evolve and shift and stay present to what is, you keep getting reminded of the blessing and the gift of this little bundle of joy, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're focusing on. That's what carries you into, oh, look, we're having another one, right?
Mm, yeah. But I think it's just to take a moment to go back to that breathing. Take a moment to breathe and just recognize, yeah, I have done this before.
Yeah.
And this will, but I guess the other thing with that is also if you're saying this is going to be a hard challenge, oh, this is going to be a hard thing to get through,
Then it will.
it will be.
Yep.
So I guess the other thing then is reframe your words, and that's internal and external. Because when you're, techniques to staying present in the changing world, reframe things. Oh, this is going to be so hard to, oh wow, how amazing I get to choose to do this. I have the opportunity to do this. Wow, look at the gift I get to do today. Just those things instead of going, oh, oh.
That's actually something that we covered in last week's episode is the power of words because we talked about the whole idea of self-fulfilling prophecies. So
Mm,
remember, if you go say, "Oh my God, that's going to be terrible. That's going to be so hard," it will.
mm.
So by staying present, and there's a cancel moment right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But remember your words because it's through your words that you create your experience and navigate the events and experiences in this changing world,
Mm.
right? So remember also with the power of words that you get to choose. You don't have to do anything. You get to choose, right?
See, even just the way you said that, you get to choose, allows you to take that power back. Not that
Yeah.
we're trying to be out of power, but actually take take that being present in the changing world back.
Hmm.
Just just brings it right back.
It allows you to be the author, right?
Mm, yeah, the captain of your own ship. That's so
Yes.
far. When I was thinking about techniques to staying present in the changing world, I was thinking our day is already filled with a lot of things.
Mm.
A lot of things. We've got to do this and got to do this and have to do this and need to do this. And oh, I'd love to do this, but I've got no time. And I'm sure, as I put my hand up, everyone who does this can relate. Put your hand up, but just because we're on a podcast, you don't have to if you need two hands on the steering wheel. But when I think about this, break your action steps of what you have to do today into an achievable micro intention. When I think about it, micro intention of what you want to get done, how you want to get it done, write it down. I'm going to do this, it's going to take 15 minutes, and then prioritize those, because when you're doing something of a high priority value to you, the brain noise, the discombobulation just disperses because you're on that high priority task. But when you're on that, and that high priority task could mean making the kids lunches. It could mean recording a podcast, whatever that high priority task is that's important to you. But make the time to do it, because when you break your day into achievable, actionable steps, you'll actually have a more flowing day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I know what I was trying to say.
It's because you've got your, it's it's doing the mundane things because you have your eyes on the prize kind of thing, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a purpose to it. Like you said about making the kids lunch. So you're making kids lunch. Maybe you don't really love chopping up the vegetables or making the sandwiches, but you really want your children to have healthy meals, right? So that's the
And
prize.
everyone's happier.
Yes. Yes, because they're nurtured and nourished and have the energy given by the healthy food that you're putting together for them. So
Yeah,
that's what I mean about doing, it's like I used to say that I can't tell you that I love doing dishes, but I love having a clean, ordered kitchen.
yeah.
And so therefore I'm not going to, be all grumbly and doing the task.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying about the mundane part, right?
Yeah, but those things add up. But if you do a whole day of mundane stuff, you're going to feel depleted.
Yeah, you have to put in some of the
Glitter.
joy, the joy filled, the glitter.
Yeah, your purple glitter, you must
Yep.
sprinkle that every day and do more of that stuff.
Yes. Yes.
But also if it is something that you can't delegate, and Moira can't delegate doing the dishes because princesses have that one right now.
She just
Then
look at me.
yeah,
Not.
link it to your purpose. Exactly what just Moira said.
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
I get the opportunity now, while I'm here, I get the opportunity to do squats or whatever. Moira's like, I don't do squats. When you're doing the dishes or something, and I know in 15 minutes it's going to get done. And then I can, 15 minutes break from my phone, and then I get to, go outside and do something. There's link at the purpose of actually doing it. But also, Moira likes doing it because she gets a clean kitchen top.
Yes.
Like 100%.
But you can also turn some of those things into a more mindful exercise, right? You could actually slow everything down and, turn the tap on and feel the sparkling water cascading down over your hands, and then really immerse yourself in the feeling of the soapy bubbles as you rub
Get
the
present.
grease off of
Exactly.
Stay present. And the changing world is I'm getting clean dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And you're winning. Everyone's winning.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing, is to not feel like you have to rush through that's the thing about realizing that the joy is in the doing, or in the experience, or in the journey, as opposed to I'm going to feel happy when it's all done and out of the way. And then I get to have the sparkle time. Like, well, actually, you can have the sparkle time wherever you choose.
Yeah, that's that same thing when when I was younger and we'd drive in the car and I'd be like, oh, driving the car, it's like an 8 hour drive to get to my nana's house. And I'd be like, oh, it's 8 hours, and we'd stop, and it was painful. I
Mm.
can't even imagine how painful it must have been for my parents. I honestly think about them. Two girls in the back whinging about, don't touch me, don't look at me. And my parents must have just, God, back in the day we had no
Probably the
seatbelts.
earplug.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
I
some
think about
earplugs
that and I
in.
think, crikey. But going back to that, the journey uh was crappy. The journey
Mm,
was crappy, but the end result was worth it. But you still remember the journey. You
right.
still remember the journey, and that's the stuff that we hold on to. So appreciate that journey.
Hmm.
Really
Appreciate
love
that
it.
you got to do that. Because
Yeah.
that's actually sometimes something too, is that maybe not everybody had the resources or the capacity to be able to make a journey like that to go
I
visit their
know.
grandma,
I
right?
know, I think about that. I think my parents must have taken time off. Like back then, it was like, why are we not going? Why are we not, and I think about that now. And my mum, she worked three jobs. And
Mm,
dad worked a job to put us through our different multiple sports and all our curriculums that we did. Like, I don't
right,
remember getting told no for anything, but I had to show up to everything.
right.
So they did that for them to take, you know, a week and a half off and drive 8 hours, from their jobs to, there's pressure all that. I guess we don't appreciate, I didn't appreciate it as a child. I just thought it
Mm,
was a given. Why are we not going? What's your problem? Are we not talking to Nana for some, that would be me, little miss. No, but there's a lot of things going on. So I think, appreciate the journey, but also appreciate when other people are reacting or something's going on. Like just, you may not know
mm,
why you can't go visit your nana, drive 8 hours. Maybe you don't know why. Leave's been declined. They don't have the money, like all of that, but appreciate what you have.
yeah.
But yeah, good old nana. Of course she comes into.
Into the conversation. Do you know, I want to, we haven't brought this in so far, but I want
Uh-oh.
to bring
What
in
one's this?
the four agreements.
Oh, that's been a while, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
know, because the four agreements, I think, are beautiful little ingredients and reminders to help us stay present in a changing world. And so in a changing world. So just for today, we're going to be impeccable with our word. We're going to not take things personally. We're going to not make assumptions, and we're going to do our best. And you
Yeah.
see, in when we use those simple but very powerful ingredients, if you like, um, that helps us stay present, but it also meets us where we are,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that that's such an important piece to remember, that every day set your intention just for today. This is
Mm,
how I'm going to do it. I actually have a practice that I've been doing of late where I when after I finish doing my meditation, I actually just kind of visit all the things that I intend for that day
yeah.
and then let go. And so, you know, not it's not like every single day goes the way I scripted it, but but it helps create a sense of flow, and it does actually help me stay present in what's showing up with my clients, what's showing up with the requests of my time, and the requests of things that I need to get taken care of, what items are going to be ticked off on my list. But it's by just having that little visit, I'm finding that quite helpful just for today.
Oh, just for today, again, just chunks it down to that, not a big goal,
Hmm.
micro intention. Someone said that the other day, micro intention.
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
like that. I like
just
that.
just for today, just brings it down to that.
You know, this micro intention that makes me think of that quote that says the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? So just one step. That's all I have to focus on right now is one step.
See, does that just not sound so achievable?
Yeah. And so present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Present with the changing world. Yeah, it does. It just I just think about that and I'm like, yeah, that just makes it so achievable.
Hmm.
Achievable. Um,
I think it's such an important piece to remember that yes, it's a changing world. And unfortunately, with social media and with the media at large, we can get all discombobulated by things that are happening on the other side of the world.
mm,
That's not really going to serve our our ability to stay present and our ability to focus on what we can do, right?
yeah. And even when I think about that, like people say, aren't you concerned about what's going on? I'm like, yes, I definitely am. I'm concerned about certain things,
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
But I have to go exactly what can I control right here, right now? And I'm
Exactly.
not going to go armor myself up and go fly to the other side of the world and get some machine guns and go and fight for things. That's not me. But if I can have an impact setting my intention of what I want and how I want to do it, how it's achievable for me,
Hmm.
not fantasy land. I'm going to go and I'm going to do this and I'm going to get to this person. I'm going to tell them off and let them have the Deborah wrath of whatever. Being able to actually bring it back. I know, just imagine my mum would go, no, we're not letting you out. But if I can look at what can I do, if I can use my gifts and help people get through this with the mindset shifts.
Hmm.
So I think it's just recognizing, when we look about techniques to staying present in the changing world, you can't change everything, but it does go back to that one step. But what skill do you have that you can help change?
Hmm.
Recognize that and just start shifting that because you will get a collective of people that will start looking at things. And I go back to Moira and I think we're both diverse and helping people let go of their well, you've got the letting go process actually, as I say
I
that,
do,
letting
yeah. I do.
but having that ability that we can both help you dissolve your stress and strengthen your love for yourself and others and take you out of that discombobulated state and bring vitality into your world. We don't need a machine gun to go out there and do that stuff because that's not us. Our gifts are done differently. And if we can do that, the ripple from you, listeners, is then going to go to somebody else and you're going to share that wisdom and that gift and that evolvement from you.
Hmm.
And that's then going to go to more than one person. And if you could see me, I'm just turning around in my chair here.
Yeah.
I just
To
realized
the
I'm
next
doing
person and the next
to the next
person.
person, to the next. I can see myself doing it. I'm like, hang on, this is not a video here. But from that's so own your skill set, own your techniques, and just believe that that's going to have an impact. Goes back to that trust that you're going to have an impact, and it's going to have a bigger impact in the world.
Yep.
Does that all make sense?
It
I
really
can hear
does.
myself.
The thing that I was thinking of when you were describing that is to remember that all peace, all
Oh,
harmony, all calmness, balance, it starts within.
yeah.
So if you want to see a harmonious, loving, compassionate, peaceful world, the best thing you can do is cultivate that within you.
Mm.
And I put my hands on my heart when I said that,
Mm.
right? And so that's when, like, to your point, is that once you really cultivate that sense of peace and ease, and then you interact with somebody else, that allows their nervous system to be
Yeah.
calm and peaceful, and they pass it on and on. That's how it ripples out, right?
Mm. Yeah, because I know we're coming up for time here, and I'm the timekeeper, and it's one of my skills. Whoops.
Oops.
But it is when you can use your gifts and share to other people. Think about when just take a moment now and think about when you've shared something with someone and they've gone, I've never thought like that before, and then
Yeah.
they come back and tell you. You wouldn't believe it. I told someone else and they said, yes, I love that. I'm going to share that with my class, or I'm going to share that with my family,
Mhm.
or I'm going to share that with my social media people, or I'm going to share that with my friends. And before you know it, you've started a movement without even knowing you've started a movement, because it just comes so naturally for you.
Yep.
And
That's-
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of just actually being able to share that. And you don't know what the ripple effect you're having with people.
Mm.
I mean, I trust that that the podcast you listen to with these actually land and you freaking love it, because you come back. And if you're not coming back, then let us know. And we want to look at what this is, because the techniques we give you, they come from the heart, they come from us, they're genuine, they're authentic, and we know the stuff. It's like I've got a filter on from swearing. We know that this stuff works.
We
And we
do.
share it because it does work. And share this. And for you people, share this. Share these techniques. Share this, because this is how you can stay present in the changing world. And it's not just you, one particular listener who wants to learn the techniques of staying present, because we're all here.
Yep.
We are all here.
We're all in this together.
Here we are.
Mhm.
That was a full-on rant, wasn't it? Um, but now we do the summing up. Now I do the summing up. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Okay. But I trust you got a little bit of with that one. Techniques to staying present in the changing world. Grab your note-taking device, because we are going to go and rip into these. Moira, would you like to start?
Uh, sure. The first tip, and the one it's you started us off with, if you're not on the boat, you'll be drowning.
Good old Deborah. If you're not on the
Yeah.
boat, you're drowning.
Yep. But and that's basically what you're saying is that life is in flow. We all know that life is all about change. And your point was you can either choose to step in or step out. It's actually that's one of the best ways to stay present is to just take ownership for what are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you managing this?
Yeah. And yes. And I remember saying you can control your decisions, emotions, and actions.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? But the next one I have here is where is your focus?
Right.
Where is your focus going in this changing world? And when I think about this, Moira said, "You are the boss of you," and I just love that, because it just lands it. You are the boss of you. You're the one. And even if you have a partner, even if you have a boss, even if you have a mother or father who's still around, or a sibling or anything like that, you are still the boss of you, because you're the one who has to make your decisions and sleep at night.
Yep.
Or during the day, whenever you sleep. But where is your focus going? Where is your focus?
Absolutely.
And I think
because
important.
what you focus on grows. So what are you allowing your energy to feed?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. The next one, and I think this should become a slogan or something. This was you said this is name it, not numb it. And this is all about seeing, hearing, and acknowledging. And that's when I was saying too, that's actually also very applicable to knowing yourself. It's so important to, I feel like part of the thread of all of our life purposes is to consistently and constantly be going back and who am I now? Who am I now with this gift? Who am I with this experience? Who am I with this trait and this peccadillo and this choice? And then the thing is to acknowledge and unconditionally love all of the things, even if you think, oh no, I need to get rid of that. I need to not numbing it out. So name
Yeah.
it, not numb it.
Yeah, I love that. I think there's a theme on that one for sure. There's a theme on that one for sure. And the other one, the other technique I have here is being present. And I know we're techniques to staying present in the changing world, but be present. And this is about being right here, right now.
Mm.
And if we can all just, as I do this right now, I want everyone just to take a big breath in and just hold it for a moment and then breathe it out. And that breath just gives you a pause that gives you a choice.
Mm.
And it goes back to you are the boss of you. So you're going to breathe before you react. And
Yep.
it's that simple. And that's free. You don't have to pay any money for that. You can do that publicly. You can do it wherever, whenever, at any time. It's not going to cost you anything, but you can just breathe before you react.
And do it often. And so then the next one, following right on from that, I said that breathing into your heart and doing that, that's where intuition comes in. That's how you get in touch with your intuition, is taking that breath and doing it with your hand over your heart, because that's where your intuition lives. And then Deb also said your intuition doesn't lie.
And I love that I didn't even know. I was like, hang on,
Yeah.
and this is that
It's
and
funny.
it goes back to our wisdom. Sometimes we know stuff we don't know until someone says it, like, that's a great idea. Hang on, I do that anyway. But
Right.
yeah.
Hang on, that is my pattern. Oh, who knew?
Yeah, I didn't know that's what it was, but your intuition is the truth. The truth.
Mm-hmm.
Be playful with your words. And when I've written this down, this is the cancel, cancel, cancel. So when I'm talking about your this is all your internal and your external. Just when you say things like, oh, this is going to be so hard, or this is going to be very heavy for me to do, or I'm going to get myself into trouble for this, just say cancel, 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 but say it really quickly, because but be playful with your words and just change those.
Hmm.
It's time to reframe them, because just doing that, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun, which goes to my next tip, what Moira's going to do, because this is a reason why we can do it, which is get curious. Oh, I thought you were
You'll
going to
get
say
curious.
it.
Well, because
But I'm not
the
like to do
one
two different ones.
in between that was that nothing was
Oh,
set in concrete. And if you realize that
oh,
nothing's
there's
set
two.
in concrete, then of course you can get curious.
I
Right?
forgot about that one. And that's all right, because I've got a little dot beside it. Like I missed something. That's it.
You're funny. But
But
yes, getting curious.
yeah, yeah. Which is get curious, not controlling, is what I wrote. Flow
Yeah,
over fight. That's my little words I wrote when we were summed it all up.
I love that. But you bring that word in, you brought that word in when we were talking about curious, is wonderment,
Mm.
right?
See, I just love that word. Just,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
feels good. But you
Yeah.
see, when you're in those types of feeling, that is where you're in flow, and you're staying present, and it feels sparkly and joy filled and purpose led, right?
Mm. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
it's it's just a beautiful space to be when you actually recognize that you're flowing
Hmm.
over in wonderment and curious. It's just a cute little place to be.
Absolutely is.
The next technique I have is you're resilient.
Yes.
And that's remembering the blessings or the learnings or the gifts out of the situation you've gone to. Resilient meaning you've been through stuff before
Mhm.
and you got through, but just reminding yourself of those times. Actually, you know what? I did do that and I got through, or oh, I didn't think I'd ever get through. So just reminding those. And if you still are holding on to a story of, oh, I remember this happened, it was really yucky, blah, 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 just knowing that look for the gifts or the
Mhm.
blessings out of that situation, and just again reframes your words.
Absolutely. And that's because the one I added in there too was the I've got this. So just
Mm,
you are resilient, and you have got through stuff before. So
yeah,
sometimes you can say, I have no clue how I'm doing it, but I've got this. And
yeah,
that actually allows you to focus more on surrendering to having the intuitive hit land, or the solution land, or
yeah.
the you know the best way come to you when you kind of release.
Yeah, when you're not so desperate and tight.
Yes, that. And then talking about that, and I know we've kind of danced in and out of this a fair bit with this conversation, is words. The point here that I had put was that you don't have to do anything. Can you frame it into, I get to do this, I choose to do this? Um, and just that in itself can change your vibe. It changes your energy, right? Instead of saying, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do that, that feels heavy and that feels like too much obligation. Like, okay, so what's the big picture? That was when we were talking about what's the, we in life there are mundane tasks that we have to do. We have to brush our teeth every day. And
Yeah.
and if we get caught up in the, oh, this sucks, I don't like doing this, but what's your why? Not why are you doing this? What's your why? What's your meaning? What's the relevant for you? What's the bigger picture? Maybe it's because you like to have a fresh mouth and you know
Mm,
not have people going, oh my gosh, get away from me.
mm, mm. As I run my
Is it? Yeah. Is my
yeah.
teeth clean?
uh, High priority tasks is what I wrote down. So I know what that means. That means ensure that you're doing something that's a high priority task every day with the glitter.
Mhm.
But oh no, that's what you just said.
No, that was actually a separate tip.
Was it?
Yep. Because you were saying about purple
And,
glitter. That was
yeah,
appreciating the journey.
yeah, and then appreciate your journey. That's it. But that high priority task is just make sure it's fun, but appreciate that journey, appreciate that car ride, not just when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
And put some
appreciate what
sparkle on it.
yeah, appreciate what you have and ensure you sprinkle it in purple glitter or
Yes.
gold.
Or gold.
But make sure
Purple
there's a
or
bit of
gold.
purple there
Or
as
both.
well. Yeah,
Mhm.
both. Oh
Both.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say both.
Yeah, both. Oh, I got a little bit excited then.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
The
oh.
next one I have is the four agreements. And that's when I suggested to say, just for today. Just for today, I'm going to be impeccable with my word. Just for today, I won't take anything personally. Just for today, I won't make an assumption. Just for today, I'm going to do my best. And that's when Deb talked about micro intentions. I really like that.
Yes.
Micro intention. Just for today, what's the intent? Doesn't have to be for the rest of the month or for the rest of this year. No, just for today. Set a micro
This makes it
intention.
so much simpler, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, micro intention. Um, Techniques to staying present in the changing world. Reminder you don't know what others are thinking or doing.
Hmm.
So give them a breather. Give them a breather. You don't know what they're dealing with when they suddenly cancel plans on you or anything, and whether they tell you the truth. Is it truly the truth or not? Just don't get yourself in a discombobulated state. Don't take things personally. I'm going back to that four agreements.
Yeah.
But reminder you don't know what others are thinking or doing.
Yep. Well said. The last one I have, you maybe have more, but the last one I have is all peace. All peace starts with inner peace. So it's about accessing what's your skills and your gifts and your preferences for
Mm,
creating and cultivating a sense of ease and peace and harmony. And maybe even think about, what do you want to see in the world around you? Do you want to see everybody getting on and being seen, heard, and acknowledged, and in flow and compassionate? And so it's to the degree, whatever that is for you, cultivate it within. It all starts internally first, right?
mm, yeah.
Hmm.
And that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, that was all I had.
That's what I had. Yeah, use your gifts. Oh, use your gifts.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's it. Yeah.
yes.
Um, I'd like a tea bag quote, please.
I pulled one in getting ready, and I really
Oh,
like this one. This one.
of course you did. I love.
So the one for this episode is, the principal ingredient of life is love.
Oh,
Isn't that beautiful?
oh, oh,
The principal ingredient of life is love. That's a beautiful way to stay present in a changing world.
that is exactly it. That this.
Mhm.
Why don't we just have a title and then just have a tea bag quote?
Maybe that's what we need to do.
I think that's what it is actually. It's just that what a beautiful way to end today's techniques to staying present in the changing world.
Mhm.
Uh I love how we have woven in so many different techniques, but they can be relatable for so many different people.
Yeah,
And it goes back to that just for today, just for today, just for today.
it really
But when
does.
yeah, it does. And when I think about this, I want to, you know how I ask the same question each time, people, are you giving life everything you've got? And when I think about this as our techniques to staying present in the changing world, are you giving life to everything you've got? And from the techniques we've shared today, what's one thing you'll actually do today? Yeah, actually do today, not just say you're going to do it. What's one thing you'll actually do today that's going to move the needle towards your desires?
Beautiful.
And share it, because
Mhm.
we're nosy and engaging, and we love to know this stuff. So
Definitely.
share that with us. But I want to thank everyone for coming today, listening to this podcast. If you would like more of these regularly, go back and start listening to our old ones, because you will hear things differently, because you're no longer that same person. You will hear things differently.
Definitely.
But from that, we're signing off. You'll hear us next week when we do another live episode. Thank you very much, Moira. Thank you very much, listeners. And thanks, Life, for techniques to staying present in the changing world.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, Internet.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, listeners.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.